The following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia Rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave. I'm your host, Dave Canyon. Oh, I pressed another wrong button. Look at that. Yeah. Whoa. There you go. Just trying to keep it on the road, not crash into the guardrails, and welcome you to episode 58 of Dumbing It Down with Dave. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, what a couple of days. Happy Valentine's Day. Although by the time this airs, it'll be after. Today is Tuesday, February 14th. It's 8:49 p.m. It's late. I'm on my way into work, and it's incredibly late. I'm usually at work about 4 hours ago. But today I have a special assignment, and I don't have to be in as early. And I needed to get some sleep anyway because I've had a busy day arranging logistics for my cross-country trip to Vancouver in July, and I'm also working on a trip into Anaheim, California in August, and today was Valentine's Day, so I had to do Valentine's Day stuff. So, wow. Hello, dum-dums. Welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave. Welcome to the Dumbcast. Thank you for taking a ride with me in my porta potty as I head on into work. My first of 5 days in a row, which is a love-hate relationship for me. Love it because it's good money, hate it because 5 days of 16-hour days. Not exactly my choice for a good life, for a good, healthy life. Not at all. No, it's a horrible choice. It's just good financially. But then again, is it good financially? No, if I can't live long enough to enjoy it, then it's horrible. And I'm making a big mistake every week by going in and working overtime. And not to mention working nights. This is just a big mistake. Almost to the point where I'm thinking, I should make that an agenda for this administration and future administrations to abolish all night work. Let's get them clones. Let's get them drones and clones and let them do the night work. I agree with technology running the night because humans should be asleep. This whole thing about being a night bird, and I've been using that excuse for years, is BS. Maybe it isn't. Maybe scientifically, it's not. Maybe there is such a thing as night birds. But for me, as a child, it was my time to get away with stuff. Being that my parents were deaf and they were asleep, I could stay awake. I could sneak in a Johnny Carson episode and they would never know. I could play with my cars in my bed. I can get out of my bed. I used to love playing with my cars. I can get out of my bed and look out the window. I used to live in an apartment building on 1381 Linden Boulevard. Look it up on Google Maps. 1381 Linden Boulevard. And I could look out my window and I could see the World Trade Center. More directly was Brookdale Hospital. Right across from me was Brookdale Hospital. And there used to be a very old wing. The original wing. The original building of Brookdale Hospital was 2 blocks away from me as I looked out my window on the 13th floor. Was it the 13th floor? Why do I have 9K in my mind? Maybe I was on the 9th floor. It doesn't matter. It was high enough. I think my grandparents, I think, were on the 13th floor. I think I was on the 9th floor because I remember we used to live in apartment 9K, if I remember correctly. And I was always like, oh, is that K for Canyon? That would make sense. Does everybody live in an apartment with the letter of the first letter of the last name? So anyway, it was great to look out the window. And when they started building the new wing of Brookdale Hospital, I used to watch it get built. We used to take a bus that rode by the construction site. My mother would get off the bus a couple of blocks early, and she let me sit on some piece of wood or whatever, and I would watch, like they have these videos now of, heavy construction vehicles. She let me watch all the stuff moving around, moving dirt. They would, just a lot of, construction chaos. And I loved it as a little boy. Much better than TV. I mean, I like TV better, but it was better for me to see this happening. It would have been nice if my father was there to sort of explain, like, oh, this is, if he even knew, or maybe he could make up something. Oh, yeah, that's called a backhoe. Oh, yeah, that's called an articulated, whatever. Front loader, whatever they call those things. Anyway, so I don't even remember how I got into this whole thing, but looking out my window was beautiful. And to the left of 1381 Linden Boulevard, across the street from Linden Boulevard, was this apartment building that was kind of like it looked like my sister building, and I don't know who lived in there. I think people who are, you know what? I'm not even going to say. I don't know who ever lived in that building. I don't think it was a regular apartment building. There used to be a Sinclair gas station across the street from 1381 Linden Boulevard. Sinclair, which I always kind of thought was the same as BP, British Petroleum. Yeah, they had the dinosaur sign. They had the Sinclair dinosaur sign. And I think at the time, that was a rundown gas station. I don't remember it being fully, I don't remember any gas stations looking brand new and clean as I was growing up. I think Merit. There was a Merit gas station, gas chain, and the M was a little cut off. And I think they were the original, all over the place and low, inexpensive, less expensive fuel. I think Merit is the gas station company that took over. I don't know. They expanded like crazy. And then I guess they all became Hesses or something. It doesn't really matter. I don't even know why I'm talking about gas stations. I'm just trying to give you my bird's eye view, my point of view as a little boy, as little David growing up. So, I wish I could really, I'm so tired. I don't even know how I got into this conversation about growing up in an apartment building. But anyway, it was great to see the World Trade Center. Both towers you could see from that's how tall they were. They were in Manhattan and I was in Brooklyn, but you could see them from my window. I love looking up into the stars. I love looking up into the sky. I love wondering if this was going to be a snow day, before it was called a snow day. I called it canceling school because of snow. I don't know if that ever happened. I don't remember how often it might have happened, if it happened at all. So anyway, my apologies for forgetting how I got into this conversation, but hello and thank you again for tuning in. Episode 58. I hope you enjoyed 57. Episode 57, which is my edited version, and I'll explain that in a second, of my appearance on Jason Smith's deplorable radio show, The Deplorable. Deplorables? Yeah, I'm maligning his title, and my apologies, Jason. It's on WGXCradio.org. Jason Smith's deplorable radio show. Or The Deplorables radio show. Whatever it is, it's a play on words of deplorable. So you get it. And I was on there. It was a little bit late Sunday because of the snow. No excuses, but I made it anyway. We talked wrestling, professional wrestling. We talked politics. We talked dumbing it down with Dave. We talked about a lot of things. And I believe we could have went on for another hour. And Jason Smith did a fantastic job of interviewing me. He had great questions. And I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him for doing what he's doing in his life. He's chasing his dream of becoming a professional wrestler. And you can laugh all you want. It's a dream like every other. It's a dream like every other, whether you're playing piano or you want to be a stand-up comedian, you want to be an actor, you want to be a mom, you want to be a basketball player. It doesn't matter. You want to be a historian, you want to be a college professor, you want to be a musician. It's entertainment. And if Jason's going to go out there and learn how to be entertaining, which I know he knows how to do, then God bless him. I would love to have the time to go and learn how to become a professional wrestler. We never discussed it on the show, but when I was young, I actually went to they had little Little American Wrestlers, Law. Or was that I think I had an organization called Law. Me and my buddy Sam, I won't mention his last name, my buddy Sam, we had Law, Little American Wrestlers. We were like 10 years old. We made a belt and everything. And we used to wrestle in his backyard. Oh, yeah. He used to throw me up against the fence, and it was just funny. Anyway, good times. Me and my buddy Sam wrestling. Professional wrestling as 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds. So, I didn't ask Jason what his name was. We didn't talk about his gimmick. You know, when you're in professional wrestling, you have to have a gimmick. So mine was Killer Kenyansky, because there used to be a Killer Kowalski, Kowalski. Well, my last name originally was Kenyansky years ago. My father was William Kenyansky, and at some point, I don't know how they did it. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it was official at some point. They just got rid of the SKY. I think it was SKY. I don't think it was SKI. It might have been. I don't remember, actually. I do remember the mailbox in the lobby of 1381 of Linden Boulevard. I do remember it saying Kenyansky. But I remember SKY. It could have been SKI. It doesn't really matter, does it? So we changed it to Canyon. So I always wanted to be Killer Kenyansky. I mean, Killer Canyon is okay, but, you know, with all due respect to Killer Kowalski, in tribute to Killer Kowalski, who was a great wrestler. He was a really good heel, as they call it, a heel to Bruno Sammartino. He wore a mask and he didn't wear a mask at different times. And I thought he was a great wrestler. I'm laughing because he was very entertaining, and I think he was very tall. I think he used to jump off the top rope and everything. He gave of his body. And he was alive for a long time after wrestling and had his own wrestling school. I think somewhere in Connecticut, as a matter of fact. And I don't know if he's alive today. My guess is that he isn't. So, good going, Jason Smith. Congratulations. And thank you for letting me appear on your show. If you're listening between now and February... I think if today's the 14th of Valentine's Day, then Sunday was the 12th. So February 19th, I will be on Duking It Out. Duking It Out. On the comedypipe.com comedy network. They will be airing Duking It Out. It'll be myself, 3D from Pipe Dream Live, Brendan Joseph, a comedian you don't know about, who's very funny, somewhat disturbed, perverse, outrageous, and brilliant, scarily, frighteningly, there you go, frighteningly brilliant, and Joshua Vincent, who is one of the most adorable, lovable, funny people I've ever met. Men don't use the word adorable to describe other men, not 53-year-old white men. I don't know. Maybe do 53-year-old black men refer to other men as adorable? No. So, just men. But he is adorable. Joshua's hilarious. And he's adorable. He's likable. He's very likable. And me, Dave Canyon. The four of us will be doing a show called Duking It Out. It's going to be at least an hour, possibly 2 hours. I hope you can tune in. So check out check out this Sunday. Oh, yeah, we got to do the mileage report. That reminds me. I almost forgot. Check out this Sunday, and it'll be archived if you miss it. If you miss it, it's going to be archived. Under the comedypipe.com website. Oh, I assume he's going to archive it. Yeah, and it'll be on YouTube. Yeah, I'm sorry. You'll be able to watch this. You'll be able to watch it and listen to it at the same time. So I'll have my phone, and I might be recording this as a Dumbing It Down with Dave episode. I might do that. I don't really know. I tried that with Jason Smith's Deplorable Radio Show, and it worked out pretty good, although I came out very loud and Jason Smith not as loud. So the phone should have been closer to him. So I can't accept tweets and text messages during the show. But whatever, who cares? Okay, anyway, let's move on. So why am I doing the show today? How much time do I have left? Okay, yeah. What is the it going to be in today's Dumbing It Down with Dave? You know what? I was inspired. I was just thinking in my head. It's dark, and I get a little sad and depressed. I slept today. I slept at least 4 hours today, which is good. So it should be a not such a depressing, sad night for me. But I posted something on Facebook before I left the house, and in a nutshell, in a word. I'm going to paraphrase myself because I don't remember exactly what I wrote. But here's basically what I posted. My friends on the left are very knowledgeable about certain things, and they're very opinionated, as they should be. And they want me to read up on certain things so I'll understand what they're talking about. my friends on the left. I also have friends on the right. I'm very blessed to have friends / acquaintances. Let's put it that way. I have friends on the right that suggest, as a matter of fact, as late as today, that I read up on certain things so I understand what they're talking about and be more knowledgeable and engage in a conversation with them. My friends on the left, my friends on the right. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one in the middle. So, isn't that the best part of an Oreo cookie? So, I wrote that, and I wrote also that, here's what's up, my friends on the left and my friends on the right. I have reading, comprehension, and trust issues. I do. I hope you can appreciate that I'm willing to admit as much. When I call this show Dumbing It Down with Dave, there's, some of it is just me being funny. But it's based in truth. All good comedy is based in truth. When I refer to you as dum-dums, it's a term of endearment. But some of you are also, or if not most of you, in the same boat as I am. You may think you know something. You may want to know something. But the truth is you're as clueless as everybody else in the world. I don't care if you're the President of the United States today or the President of the United States 20 some odd days ago. You only know what you think you know. But the truth is you know nothing. I like to think we all know nothing. I think Stephen Hawking knows a lot. He probably knows nothing too. Because there's a definitive truth. And the definitive truth is hard to know. This galaxy is too huge. This universe is too huge. How do we know for sure? They say we only use 10% of our brains. How do we know we don't use less? How do we know we're not, and we have so much more to go, right? But how do we know we're not at full capacity? If we only use 10% of our brains, then maybe the other 90% is what we really need to know to confirm that we only have, use 10% of our brains. Maybe we're at full capacity and this is as bright as we get. Is this as bright as we get? You happy with that? You like that? I don't know. I have no opinion. I really don't know. So I have reading, comprehension, and trust issues. I don't understand 99% of what I read. I don't. That doesn't mean I can only read See Dick Run, See Jane Run, See Spot Run. It's just these things that I read, I'm good for a couple of sentences, maybe. And then I get lost. I don't know what we're talking about. Is it my brain degradation, my sleep deprivation, or have I always been like this? I got news for you. I think I was like this 40 years ago. I think something didn't happen that should have happened for me. So there's reading, there's comprehension, and there's trust. I don't have a verifiable source. Verifiable? I don't have a trustworthy source. Huffington Post, New York Times, Washington Post, Daily News, New York Post, The New Yorker, The Atlantic, The Republic. What am I supposed to read, folks? You tell me. What am I supposed to read I'm supposed to trust? Who's got the facts? Who's really looking at this with the truth? Who doesn't write with a bias, with a slant? Who knows the definitive truth about any of this that's going on in this country? Not just now, but for me, the last 40 years. The last 48 years since 1969, when I was 6 years old, and I was conscious that we had a president named Nixon. I don't know who writes the truth. I don't know who speaks the truth. Remember a couple years ago, we all trusted Brian Williams from NBC? Turned out not to be so honest. What about all these politicians? Many of them scandalous, not so honest. I'm justified in how I feel. There's a reason. I have personal reasons for mistrust, distrust, whatever the word is. And I have verifiable political reasons. We've been lied to over and over and over again. Oh boy. Sorry about that, folks. I should have had the phone on silent. My apologies. I should know better by now. So, I'm not going to apologize. You have a solution? You have something I can read that is short? Not Twitter. But it doesn't matter, because even if I can understand it, I still don't know if I can trust it. Because I see things down the middle of the road. I see both sides. Civil rights, gay rights, women's rights, drug rights, pot user rights, relationships with other countries. It's been a long time, folks. 48 years since 1969. And this is the best we can do. Where we are today is the best we can do. Screw that, man. How are we doing with China and Japan and Russia? 48 years later, all the brilliant men and women who have worked in the United States government. Now, by the way, this is not an anti-United States government podcast. I'm not trying to be anti-anything. I'm just speaking clearly. I'm trying to be a human doing a show for other humans. If you're listening to this show, then you have a curiosity. If you've never heard the show before, then you have a curiosity. And I'm trying to satisfy your curiosity by opening up your mind, if it's not already open, or enjoying the fact that your mind is open to the possibilities. Think about this. It's been 48 years since 1969. Remember Kissinger? Remember Secretary of State with Nixon? I thought he was doing a good job. Remember all the Secretary of States we've had? Here we are 48 years later. Is democracy growing or shrinking? I don't know. But where there's not democracy, it seems to be going pretty bad. Things are not going well for the people of Aleppo, wherever that is, Syria, wherever that is, and many other countries that we've forgotten, because there's just too much of it on the news, and it's negative. I can't believe Cuba turned it around. It's amazing. After all these years. And I don't know how much they're turning things around. I can't verify or vouch for anything that's going on. It just sounds to be going in the right direction. All right, let's do the mileage report real quick before I forget. The Kia Rio, 2008 Kia Rio, fastest podcast on earth. Mileage report brought to you by Pipe Dream. Pipe Dream from the people of comedypipe.com. Is Pipe Dream... another stupid text I didn't... that's interfering. I'm sorry, folks. I should know better. 227,746 miles. 227,746 miles on my Kia Rio. And that is the mileage report brought to you by Pipe Dream. Anywhere you are in the world, if it's Wednesday at 8 o'clock, it's time for Pipe Dream. Okay. And don't forget, this Sunday at 7 o'clock, the 19th of February, is Duking It Out. Duking It Out this Sunday, the February 19th. At 7 o'clock. It might be 1 hour. It might be a 2-hour show. All right. So here we go. I'm going to try to record it on my phone and bring it to you as episode 59 and 60. There's a lot of times where I say I'm not going to do a show today. I don't feel like doing a show. But I sat here and I remember that I wrote that post. And I also am just really sick and tired of the hatred on Facebook. I think once upon a time, Facebook was fun. It was fun. Wasn't it? Catching up with high school buddies, high school friends. And now it's just all so filled with political hatred. And I texted a buddy of mine today, my buddy Steve. Now, is he a hater? No, he's not a hater. Not any more or less than anybody on the left is a hater. So I'm not going to let him off 100% scot-free. But he dislikes a lot of what the left is saying. He disagrees. He's allowed to disagree, but this whole left and right thing is, if it's not already, is becoming the Hatfields and the McCoys, where nobody can get back to ground zero. What was mistake zero? What's the original sin? Where did we go wrong? That's where I'm getting at. What's the root cause? Well, the root cause is us. We've been somewhat apathetic. We've been asleep. We've lost a grip on a lot of what we're supposed to be gripped onto. Basically, self-preservation. And I'm going to explore that in future episodes. That's a big deal. Self-preservation. There's nothing for us to do anymore. Everything is given to us, handed to us, made for us. Think of everything in your life. Your refrigerator, your dishwasher, your microwave, your TV, your earphones, your headphones, your headset, your smartphone, your car, your house. Smart, smart, smart. Smarter than you. Too smart. Way too much ease. Way too much technology. What is it all good for? What does it get us? I don't know. So a couple of minutes ago, I was talking about dumbing it down with Dave. Where does that come from? Well, I used to watch ESPN, and I used to enjoy sports once upon a time. ESPN kind of ruined it for me. You would think they'd make it better. They kind of ruined it for me because they'd always have two anchors doing whatever, Sports Center, and boy, they'd be smug, so smug. And they use, Yale. They listen. God bless them. They went to college for 4 years. They got a college degree in journalism, and maybe they went for the master. I don't know. I don't know how smart these guys are, but I just didn't care for their overt brilliance and smugness. It rubbed me the wrong way. I might be wrong about this, but all I can tell you how it affected me. I said, boy, you know what? It's sports, guys. It's sports. Well, why do you have to be so smug? And why do you have to use these words that are just, what are you doing? It's wins and losses. It's runs. It's tackles. It's hits. It's ERAs. It's statistics. And you're doing, you think you're Hemingway or Steinbeck or whatever. It's whatever. It's just, it rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not describing what they did in the way that they would describe it. I'm describing the way I would describe it. I'm dumbing it down. I didn't care for it. I lost interest. I didn't think they were really talking to me. I didn't think they were really being nice about it. Whatever. And I didn't go to Yale. I didn't go to Harvard. I didn't take a journalism class. I speak from the heart. And to me, that's as sincere as you're going to get. This is how I feel right now. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to accept new things. And maybe tomorrow I'll feel differently. But today I feel this way. Can you sway me? You got something to share with me? I'm willing to listen. I'm tired of your hatred. I'm not doing hatred anymore. I'm not going to spew it. I never have, and I'm not going to listen to it. It just rubs. I'm just tired of it. It's exhausting, and we're not getting anywhere. This is never going to bring peace. Hatred is never going to bring any peace or harmony. It's just not going to happen, and we really have to start to control ourselves a little bit better. Boy, my vision's getting worse. I think I have a minute and a half, but I don't have to go the whole 30 minutes. All right, folks, that's enough. Dumbing it down with, did I explain everything? Maybe I didn't. I'm a little emotional, and I might have forgotten. I don't even remember how he even started the show, to tell you the truth. But Dumbing it down with Dave is the title of the show because that's as good as it gets for me. I'm trying to dumb it down so we all understand. If I dumb it down, then we all understand. If I try to achieve some sort of brilliance, then people are going to get left out. And that's the problem. When I watch the 7 o'clock news, I feel left out. My friends want me to read what's on the left, and my other friends want me to read what's on the right. I can't. It doesn't work for me. I don't understand what's being written, and I don't trust it. I'll try to do better, but I can't make any promises. Most likely, after 53 years, this is as good as it gets. Dumbing it down with Dave. Twitter @dumbwithdave. Email dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. Thanks for listening. Goodbye, good day, good night, good luck, Godspeed, good riddance, and great skills. Check me out at dumbingitdownwithdave.com. And don't forget my friend, The Spark, taking over the globe, my buddy Jeffrey, Linda, Awesome Insanity Surfers, Tamara at The Shelf Addiction, my friends at Pipe Dream, comedypipe.com, Comedy Network, and all my friends at Spreaker, thank you very much for your support. Have a great day. Bye.